Hey boys and girls, now it's time for Talking Trash with Panda, co-hosted by Angry Sarge. Yeah, let's go. Now here's your host, Tactical Trash Panda.
Welcome, guys, to episode 17 of Talking Trash with Panda. Tonight we have a special episode, and I love this topic because we're talking about vehicle readiness for emergencies, and honestly, it could go out for everyday vehicle use as well. A little background about myself: for the past 10 plus years, most of my careers, my vehicle has been my office. So I've learned a thing or two over the years of just preparing your vehicle for what I call the expected unexpected. And which I mean from the expected unexpected is that we all know that one day we're going to have an issue that may end up having us have to pull over to the side, and either fix it or call somebody to fix it for you. What I'm going to try to do with this list of things I've come up with is prevent you from having to call anybody and allow you to be more ready to take responsibility, and get yourself back on the road as soon as possible, because nobody wants to be stranded on the side of the road. It could also be in case of a SHTF situation and you gotta take your vehicle and go somewhere. That being said, let me give a quick shout out to everybody that's in the chat today. Serenity, always number one person that's in the chats. We have Caleb in the background right there. Marconi Armory. Frank Law. Hello. Welcome to the live, Frank. I see this is your first time. I hope you enjoy our live, and hopefully you like this topic. We have Angry Sarge in the house. Your favorite libertarian. How's it going, man? Jen Chant Jr. I feel like we have way more people. I know people are just getting on. We have Easy EDP. Xeon's in the house. How's it going, brother? Okay. Mike McClune, how you doing, brother? Thanks for always sending me those awesome raccoon videos. I love those things. And sorry I don't respond right away, but life gets busy and I try to take a look at all of them at once whenever I get the chance. We have Jason Davis. How are you doing? We have Tech Money in the house. We have Donald Seco, right? I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Prepper Book Club. Let's see. All right. Well, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. I see people are still coming on the live, but that being said, let's give a quick shout out to Freedom Crew University. Guys, If you don't know about Freedom Crew University by now, it is the one and only place where you can have one-on-one instruction by the best instructors in the nation on how to build your pew. Guys, nowhere else can you find the information that we can offer you at Freedom Crew University. If you haven't enrolled yet, what are you waiting for? Links in the description. We have an amazing community over there. So, that being said, I'm getting winded. Wow. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to my friend Razil Cohen, also known as the Tactical Rabbi from NDF Training. He has come up with an awesome class where it's just like 14 days. It's called the Firearms Mastery Challenge. And as the title says, 14-day challenge to become the elite protector you are meant to be. First 2 weeks, he's going to go over firearm safety, firearm selection, training, emergency medical response, and so much more. Learn everything you need to know to safely own and operate your firearm, even if you have kids at home. Parents are always worried about this topic. You know, how am I going to keep my firearm safe away from my children? He's going to go over that. Understand and apply elite protector's mindset. Sometimes people buy a firearm, but mentally they're not ready to carry it just yet. He's going to go over that for you too. Understand and apply the elite protector's mindset. Apply for your firearms license. If you're just thinking about it or know somebody that's thinking about it, this would be a great class to invite them to. The link is in the description. Choose the perfect firearm and ammunition for your objective. Dispel critical firearms myths so you can know your weapon. Then week 2, expand and expound. So, guys, Razila has been going on this idea for a while. He's put well thought out ideas on it, and he is so sorry. It's been a long day, but he believes that, you know, oh, man, how can I word this? He is so he's so positive about it that he has offered a 30-day money-back guarantee if you do not think that this class benefited you at all. So, guys, check out the link. I'm going to apply for it. It's only $27. I mean, that kind of knowledge is amazing for just $27. I'm definitely going to apply for it and take his course. It's all at home, one-on-one as well. So check out the description for the link. That being said, let me bring in my co-host, Angry Sarge. Sarge,
What's up,
how's it
everybody?
going?
Hey, just to kind of scare you guys, yes, I'm in a different area. It's really hot out in the garage, and it smells terrible because we had our freezer open up and we lost a lot of food and all that stuff. So, anyhow, that's why I'm in here. You can barely see me. I got a shadow. It's kind of annoying, and I've got this light right here. So,
Yeah.
sorry. First and foremost, I apologize.
I get it. It's been so hot this past week.
Oh, look
And
at
I think
that.
that's why I feel like that's why I'm kind of like out of breath today. Is like I've been spending all day outside for the past week in this heat that's just been taking a toll on my body. Oh,
Yeah.
so how's your week been so far?
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy, 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 man. Hot. sweaty, all that. Like, I feel like I'm not ever taking in enough water, even though I'm drinking as much as I can. It's just crazy. So
yeah, I get it. I mean, as much as I'm trying to stay hydrated, like it is tough. Even with the AC blowing in the vehicle, like I got stuck in a couple vehicles that didn't have AC, and I couldn't wait to get home. Like,
no, I mean, that's how I felt. I was like, I just want to get home, take a shower. Like today was a late day. So, by the way, quick shout out. I don't have this fully done, but I'm going to make a video. But this is the new show mask, courtesy of Xeon Zone. So I really, I'm excited to try it out. It's nice and cushioned, unlike the old one. So I'm definitely excited about that. So, hey, Donald, everybody, thank you for coming. I just have to say that, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of everywhere, but I'm not in my normal space either. So it's definitely different for me.
I get it, man. Like I got home, like I've had such a long, busy day, back to back things I had to take care of, and I got home. I ate real quick, took a really quick shower, tried to take a quick nap before the show, get ready because this heat exhaustion is no joke.
It's been bad, but working through it. Not dead, so we're good. We're good to go.
Yeah.
But I got a new follower that I want to pop up here. This one excites me. I know exactly who this is, and I can't say who it is, but definitely happy that I have this follow. So not like you guys don't matter, because you do. I promise. All of you matter.
I like this name, right?
So I have a story to tell because it's been rattling my brain. So today I went on this call, and I know we're going to talk about vehicle stuff. I promise you guys, we're going to get to it. But I went on a call, and I show up, and I go to knock on the door, and I notice there's like some blood on the ground, like blood drops and stuff like that. And I'm like, what is going on here, right? And I turn and look at the wall, and I see like where somebody shot rounds through the wall, shot rounds through the door, and there's still stickers on there from crime scene when they come out and they measure it and all that stuff, take pictures and everything like that. So I was just like, what do I need to be like afraid right now? Am I going to get shot up, And I knock on the door, she answers, and she's like, just nonchalant about it. And she's like, oh, yeah, somebody got murdered here, but I was at the pool, so I'm fine. And I was like, all right. Okay, I got you. I understand. I guess this is like a normal thing for you, so whatever, I guess. But fun stuff, man. The stuff that we encounter on the job, you're like, to you would be like, what is going on here? It's just not normal, but pretty funny, man. Just a crazy week already.
Some people just, I guess, can block that kind of stuff out and still.
Yeah, but I mean, at what point do you just normalize it and everything's okay? Like you don't have any fear walking out your door that you're going to get shot. This is like right outside your door, and you're just like, whatever. So I guess, yeah, it can happen. So
I also see you have a new patch over there on the plate carrier. Why don't you tell us a little about that?
So this right here is the clan flag. I had this made myself and someone in the background. We kind of talked it over and figured out what I wanted. And I mean, my hat's all crooked. I look like I don't know. I look crazy today. I'm sorry. Trying to fit all this stuff on.
But
It's not my
don't worry.
normal stuff. So anyhow, I digress. So the patch, I think we have a picture of it, right? So we can show it. And I'll kind of explain it to everybody if they want to know. But like in the military, we have guidons, right? We have flags that we fall under, and that's how we rally up on a battlefield. Like if we get all spread out or anything like that. So in the samurai culture, they also had like clan flags and stuff like that. So I wanted to have something to represent kind of our little crew and stuff like that, and wanted to do something special for people that really support me and all that. So just talking about the flag itself, like the 3 lines, like you could consider those chevrons or stripes for like the Sarge, right? The sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
And the top part I thought was really unique because if you think about like samurai and Ronin are like wave men. They can be very fluid and they're, they serve nobody anymore at that point, right? They're masterless. Mm-hmm. So I figured making those look like waves in the center of that octagon, which could, you could think of it as like a battleground and however you want to take it. But that's kind of my thought on it was it symbolizes water and being a wave man. So, hey, VK, I saw you. 223 DMR. We got a lot of people that's showing up. It's good to see you. G23. Coop showed up.
See, I didn't. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so I with the help of someone else designed this flag as something that only select people get. And it's not, I think when I release it, it's going to be a part of like a membership thing. So that way it's limited. It's not like, oh, well, I came around and I just bought it. I don't want it to be that. I want it to mean something and people to really take it with them and get some kind of pride or whatever it is that they're going to feel about it. So that's kind of why I did it.
So. I understand that. I mean, that's how I feel about the BOP flag right there. Like, not everybody has that. You got to be part of the BOP to get it. Speaking of BOP, we have Christian Gress in the house.
Yeah, he popped in.
Fellow BOP member. But yeah, I mean, that's awesome that you have your own patch. I mean, the way that you want to do it, I mean, it makes perfect sense. I mean, so many people buy patches and just put it aside or hang up on a wall, and it doesn't truly mean anything to them. But when it's like a limited run for special, specialty folks, like, hey, that means something.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's kind of why I wanted to do it, is just to give the people that really support me and they come in here and they want to be a part of this crew and be a part of this community, something special that to me means something. Like this wasn't just something we just threw together and we're just going to call it something. This means like something to me, like a flag that I know if I see it, like me and you, we're on the same page.
Right.
We're the warrior in the garden, not the gardener in a war, so.
But the thermostat of the room, not the thermometer of the room.
Yeah, so this is what the flag actually would look like. And I'm going to do a sticker of this. So everybody, when I do have new patches, I haven't set them up to sell or anything. I got everything in. But I want to do some more stickers, have a nice little sticker pack to go with it. and this flag pack sticker will be a part of that. So it'll be cool. I think, just to have something that you can throw on something, even if you don't want the patch or whatever, it just lets everybody know who you are and where you belong. You have a home, and this is with us is where it's at. So
I love it.
yeah, man.
So I think we have enough people in here now to really start the show.
We can start the show. Thanks, Zeons. I'm going to say it again. This is comfy. It's a lot better than the old one. I should show everybody the old one. The inside of it's just like the paint's coming off on my nose. I have to scrub my face whenever I get done with it. And I really love it. I'm going to retire it. And this is going to be the new show mask. And along with the helmet mounted mask, it's going to be pretty awesome.
You got to put that old mask in like a glass box, as a souvenir.
You know what I thought too, and maybe we can get some opinions in the comments, but I thought about along with the membership, maybe having like a miniature little desk mask that people can put on their desk, or something. I mean, they may be like, we don't want your mask, bro. And that's okay. It's just something.
That'll be a pretty cool thing to get.
Yeah. See this? 100% forgot. But anyhow, let's get to the show, man. I don't want to keep everybody waiting for the good stuff. This is all the boring stuff.
Hey, it's stuff that had to be talked about. But all right, guys. So vehicle emergency readiness, vehicle readiness emergencies, vehicle EDC, vehicle prepping, whatever you want to call it. We are in our vehicles for a certain amount of time every day, just getting back and forth to work. Unless you work remotely, that's different, but I'm sure you're still in the vehicle, or most of you own a vehicle. And I'm going to give I'm going to try to break it down a little bit in different categories and certain things that I feel like you should always keep in the vehicle, and some things that would be handy to keep in the vehicle. Now, I know that if it was up to me, I'd put everything in a vehicle, but that could take up space. Also, the type of vehicle you drive can make a big difference too. If you got an SUV, if you got a pickup truck, if you have a small sedan or a coupe, whatever. So these are just the list of things that, you could write down and think about, storing in there. But number one thing that I think is important to have in your car, especially if you're going to go on a road trip or just on a daily basis, a tire plug kit. Okay. If you don't know what a tire plug kit is, you can get them at any gas station or vehicle supply area in a Walmart or whatever. And if you get a nail or a screw in your tire, instead of having to replace it with the spare, I know a lot of vehicles don't have spares nowadays. So instead of replacing it with the spare, you could actually plug that, fill some air in it, get back on the road. Which brings me to the next thing on the list, air compressor. If you have a tire plug kit, you're going to have to fill some air in that tire after you plug it up. So if you have an electric air compressor, or even a small pump style, that's also important. Sometimes a plug kit does not do the job, and you may need some fix-a-flat. That's like a sealant that comes in a can. You put it in the valve and spray it in there. It's not great for the tire, but for temporary use, it's perfect. You don't want to definitely drive on that for too long, but it can get you to a destination for sure. If you do need to change your tire, you definitely need a car jack. Most cars do come with a car jack, but if not, I mean, a lot of the car jacks that come with your car, they're not the best. So just keep an eye on that. If spare tire. Here's the thing about spare tires. Since we don't use spare tires and they just sit in the car for a long time, they can dry rot. So make sure that your spare tire is in good condition and is always ready with air. Because, I mean, if it's just sitting there, it could just lose pressure over time. You may not know it until you need it, and then you have two bad tires. Let's see. Uh, I also mentioned in my list flare or triangles, because if you are on the side of the road and working on your vehicle, you want to give people a signal from far away that you may be there, because you don't want to get hit while on the side of the road. That could be very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Along with that, a reflective vest can come in handy.
Yep.
So if it's dark outside, that reflective vest will give you away. Man, I am running out of breath today.
Hey, I'm letting you run the show until we get to the part where I'm like, okay, where's your gun at? Let's pack this stuff up. Like what I put in my squad car compared to what I put in my POV or anything else is going to definitely be different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, like personal vehicle versus work vehicle, there could be a lot of differences. I think this is just a small category of things that I feel like are necessary if in your personal vehicle, at least, is like just keep an eye on that stuff. You don't have to keep an eye on it all the time, but check it maybe a couple times throughout the year when the seasons change. And some things you could just buy like a duffel bag or a container to store all this stuff in. And you could separate them in different containers too and write on them what is in that container. So if the time comes to need it, you can easily find it, because I've been there where I know I have a certain item in the vehicle, but I've had a hard time finding it because I had so much crap just in one box, just not separated. So it'll still be there, but it's going to take more time and frustration, especially during a frustrating situation. You don't want to add any more stress onto yourself.
Yep.
For extra things that come in handy in a vehicle, which I feel like some of these most people already have, but again, just some consideration outside the box. All of us use one of these nowadays. It's like if it stops working, then we go crazy, right? Mm-hmm. So you always want to have a phone charger in your vehicle. I think most people do, but if you don't, get one. Shoot, I use this as a GPS a lot, so I have a phone mount for it. Okay, jumper cables. I find it ridiculous on how many people don't own jumper cables. And especially during winter time, those cold months of the year, like if you have an old battery, you may get in your vehicle and it won't start up because the cold air just killed your battery. A pair of jumper cables, yes, you'll need another car to jump you, but hey, at least you have one. And when people see that you have jumper cables already, they will be more willing to help jump your vehicle. But nowadays, you also have those miniature jump packs that you could keep charged, and they work just as good as jumper cables. So you don't have to be dependent on another person to help jump your car.
Yep.
I take a jump box. Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, he's talking about a jump box.
Yeah. Yeah, jump
Smart.
box.
I mean, I have, so I use mine for work and for when we travel. Like if we're going out of town more than 2 hours away, then we load the vehicle because it just makes sense, right?
Right.
So
when you're going to go out of town, these are the things that are really necessary to keep in your car, because it's not like you're a phone call away from a friend or a family relative or something like that. So it could definitely help save the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Another thing that comes in handy, which is very inexpensive, is keeping spare fuses. You could put that in your glove box. They come in a pack anyway. Sometimes something might not work correctly in our vehicle, and it could be as simple as replacing a fuse. So
Mm-hmm.
I've replaced so many fuses, not in my personal car specifically, but in work vehicles that I've been in. Just like, for instance, if your phone charger isn't working, check the fuse. Most likely that's what it is. Spare headlight bulbs. I always keep a cheap pack of spare headlight bulbs in my vehicle, because, when sometimes they die and burn out at the least convenient times, and you don't want to make that run to the store. Well, hey, you know what? I got an extra pack of, headlight bulbs. I could just quickly swap that out into it and be on my way.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me address this. Thank you,
Yeah.
Harpew North. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Sorry, I wanted to address
Croak.
that.
Yeah,
Good
go
to see
ahead.
you, Croak. I'm ready for your comments and shenanigans that you like to do in the comments.
Let's see what Xeon said. Just make sure to check the parts list for your vehicle so you know the lights and fuses will work. Yes, that is an excellent point, Xeon.
Yep.
Paper clips are fuses. You might be able to get away with it, or you might just start a car fire.
Yeah.
Let's see. This may sound crazy, but I'll do a walk around before I start my car. Hey, you know what? That's an excellent habit to create, is do a quick little walk around your vehicle every time you get into it. I know for work, that got embedded for me because I got to do a pre-trip. Anybody that has a CDL license, we have to do a pre-trip and a post-trip with our vehicle every time we're done using it.
Mm-hmm.
So we do walkarounds, and there's certain things that we have to check before we can even get on the road. So doing a little pre-trip circle, and it can save you so much stress. Even if it's a flat tire, you may have gone over a screw or something, you have a flat tire before you get on the road, hey, you can fix that. Croak got, yeah. I was actually going to mention a paper mat, Croak. That's actually on my list. Let's see. 22s can work too. Is he talking about fuses?
Yeah, probably.
223 DMR. Yeah, he's there. You go. CDL guys, I feel like you can relate to this.
Yeah, but I mean, besides that, I mean, we learned vehicle inspections and stuff like that in the military. You're going to check your squad car, especially if you're doing a take home. You want to make sure that everything's good. But besides that, if you work for an agency that you share vehicles, you never know what the guy before you did to the vehicle by the time you grab it. And then the next thing you know, there's like a big, you didn't walk around, but you got like half the bumper missing on the other side that you didn't see.
Yeah, you don't want to get blamed for that.
You do.
Yep. I have that issue where I work is we don't have assigned trucks. So every day somebody's using a different vehicle. So for me, pre-trips are like you said, you got to make sure everything's in good condition because you don't know how the last guy left it.
Yeah, exactly.
for maps and phone. Keep safe points of special interest, home, work, school. Yeah. Or an empty box of flares of the worst time.
I mean, why not have dynamite?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there, just for
Jen,
just for fun. Just throw a stick.
Jen Chant makes a great point. You need gas or fuel,
Mhm.
whether it's gas or diesel,
Yep. Yeah.
or even electric nowadays. You need to make sure you have enough to get you where you need to be. Let's see where I stopped at. Okay, so yeah, secondary GPS or a paper map, and that could come in handy because if, let's say, for instance, like, hey, an EMP went off, or I've had this while I drove into New York City one time where this didn't have any signal because of all the high rises. It helps to have like a Garmin GPS, an actual Garmin, or a paper map to really help you get through the city or wherever you need to be if this doesn't have signal. Have an auxiliary fuel tank in the back of my truck.
Smart. Yeah.
That is smart.
Very smart.
Because I was gonna get to fuel gas cans or jerry cans, whatever you want to call them. So paper map. What else do you need to go with that paper map? Definitely a compass. If you don't have one, just put it together, and always make sure you have an up-to-date paper map. I know they're harder to find nowadays, but there's still places you could go, like your local grocery stores or somewhere where you could still pick them up. I know travel stations used to have them a lot. If you're on the highway, like, and the little rest stop areas on the side of the highway, sometimes they had them. I always keep tape, like Gorilla Tape or duct tape, in my vehicle. It saved my ass a few times. I went on a vacation one time. It was in Myrtle Beach. My wife and I were still dating at the time. We went into a restaurant. I parked my car, the rental, in the parking lot. We got back out from the restaurant, and some drunk guy swiped my rental, another car next to it, and another car, just hit them all. The cop wasn't going to let me drive away with that vehicle, even though it was like more bumper damage. He wasn't going to let me drive away with that vehicle if I couldn't attach that bumper securely back onto the car.
Mm-hmm.
I had duct tape in the back of that car because I had my little everyday EDC bag, and I kept some duct tape in there. I popped the bumper back into place, and I duct taped that thing. And he was like, all right, well, it looks secure enough. You can head out. If I couldn't do that, I was going to be SOL.
Oh, man. The comments are just crazy.
Oh, the road construction can get tricky, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on where you live, but you can still get by pretty, like, if you have a road map, you can still somehow get around, even with all the road work going on. If duct tape can't fix it, F it. Yeah, I work on the road, so I'm all over, yeah.
Yeah. Do we have questions? Are we doing that tonight?
Hey, guys, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I mean,
please.
And give us your input too. Like, even though I have a list here, like, give us your input too. If you like the show right now, give me a thumbs up, everybody. Zip ties also. Yeah, guys, you guys are reading my mind already because I've got this list right here. I'm reading. Zip ties are definitely on there. I was gonna say zip ties right after gorilla tape, a tow rope or a tow chain. And I forgot to put this on my list, but one thing that is a pet peeve of mine, like it drives me nuts, is when I see a pickup truck or SUV that doesn't have a trailer hitch. I don't know why, but it drives me nuts. I'm like, why do you have this and don't have that? Like, I get it. Most of the people don't tow anything, but just having that tow hitch there is a receiver point right there where you could attach anything and either tow somebody else out of a ditch or get towed out. A few years ago, I think it was 2018 maybe, or 2006. I mean, 2016 or 2018, one or the other. We had a really big blizzard in DC, and I got stuck because I overestimated the snow height, and I got stuck on top of the snow. But I was like maybe 75 to 100 feet away from the main road. I had a tow hitch and a tow rope, and the tow truck driver was like, my chain's not gonna reach all the way to you. I was like, I have a tow rope. He's like, how long is your tow rope? I was like, I think it's about 30 feet length. He's like, that might work. And because I had a trailer hitch and a receiver and a rope, I was able to get out of there. If I didn't have that, I was going to be stuck there that night. And that would have been a real bad situation.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just comments y'all are putting them up so fast I can't even keep up scrolling through them. But we got a question from Xeon. So,
your craziest vehicle breakdown story. All right, I used to work for a dealership, and I used to do delivery exchanges, and I remember I took this company. We took this company a box truck to Chicago, from Maryland to Chicago. They were trading in two of their old box trucks for that one box truck, and we were driving those back, me and my partner. The box truck I was driving had an electrical issue. I didn't know about it though until I went to fuel up in Ohio. I was running out of diesel. I had to fuel up. So I fueled it up. I'm at the fuel pump. Turned the ignition back on. Nothing. It's just clicking. I was like, what the hell is going on? Click, 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 click. So I got out. I did a little walk around. I saw the battery compartment. That the wires were like fried out, like burnt out.
Wow.
I was like, what the hell, man? We were stuck at that Ohio station for maybe 5 hours before a tow truck showed up, because this was like at 2 a.m. And we ended up leaving that truck there. We only took the one truck back. But when we went to pick up that truck again, the mechanic was like, you were so lucky this thing did not explode on you.
Yeah.
And trust me, I was still very young. I was about, I want to say maybe 20, 21 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was pissed off. I was like, what? I talked to the salesman that accepted those things. I was like, what the fuck were you thinking? Oh, sorry, my language, but I was like, what the hell are you thinking?
Yeah.
Not really looking at these vehicles, you're just taking them. I was like, what if that thing blew up when I was driving it? How do you, like, what was? I was
no
pissed.
concern, right?
No concern at all.
Yeah.
But I would think that's probably my craziest story that I can remember. But I've had a couple others.
Yeah.
I had one where I got sandwiched on the highway when I was at a dead stop. The guy hit me full speed, didn't even hit the brakes.
Man, Croak has a story. That whole thing was jacked up.
Like,
And
I
then he
missed
lost a
it.
stripe too. Sheesh. Hey, look at that. Man against the masses.
Oof. Saturday night to Monday morning.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, he was out there, man.
Stuck in
And
the
29
desert.
palms to there is just nothing.
Mm.
So, yeah, I believe it. It's good to see you, man, against the masses. Good to see you. Glad you. Hopefully, you had fun doing that off-roading trip.
Oh,
But yeah,
wow.
as far as me, I'll be honest with you, I haven't had an issue with that. I've done rescues for vehicles that were flooded and other stuff like that, but luckily, I haven't experienced anything except I blew my engine once, but I think I was like 5 miles from the house. So I was very lucky. But that's it,
How'd you,
man,
that,
for me.
wait, how'd you blow it? No oil or?
So I'll tell you this. I was poor, okay? Very
We've
poor.
all been there. Yeah.
So my first car was a 1995 Ford Contour, which was a piece of trash, right? But it was all I could afford. I mean, I just got out of basic and AIT. I had a little money, so I was like, oh, $1,500 for a decent looking car. Yeah, I'll go get it, right? Because I don't know any better. It's my first car. I was driving it, and the engine started overheating, and the head gasket blew.
Oof.
And it already had problems. Like they sold it. It was a lemon. So, you know. And then they
Yeah.
stuck a new engine. So I paid for a new engine. That cost me $2,500 back then. And I blew that. And come to find out that the overdrive was stuck in it. So that's what was causing it to like have all the issues that it was having and blow gaskets and heads and all that stuff. So yeah, I got rid of that car as fast as I could. I think I sold it for scrap for like $200. So
My first car was a 94 Cadillac Seville.
What
And that
year?
thing,
What year
94.
were you in? Yeah, but what year were you in? Was that like 2000? Like for me, that was like
2006.
Yeah.
2006 is when I purchased that car. And that was my first car that belonged to me. It wasn't my parents' car or nothing. Like I was so proud that I finally bought my own car, and it looked so beautiful. But man, those old Cadillacs, he did not take care of them. The previous owner did not take care of them. They could give you a ton of electrical issues.
Yep.
But thanks to that vehicle, I learned how to pull parts from the junkyard and do my own maintenance and fix things on my own. Because, of course, as a young 16-year-old, I didn't have a lot of money, so I had to improvise and go to the junkyard.
Yeah. No, I mean you're one of the smarter ones. Like me, I don't have a want to work on cars because I mean I started off my career working on tanks and I preferred to blow stuff up with the tank versus fixing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just one of those guys. I'm not, like I want to know how things work, but like explodey things, like guns and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man. See,
65
everybody's
bucks.
blown an engine. This is nice. I'm not the only one. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having my back.
Oh man, Xeon blew an engine in a '86 Toyota Camry. Man, those things were supposed to be built like tanks back then.
Yeah, I know, right?
Transmission fluid, all oiled. You know.
Oh, geez. See, we're becoming like thin line defense. We just go way off topic. We don't even stick to it anymore.
Hey man, I like look. This is nice. Multimeter does come in handy if you keep.
Yes, it does. But you gotta understand current and all that stuff. You can't just hook it up and say, okay, well, it's 12 volts. I think it's good. But yeah, you're getting it from where, you know? So, yep, I agree. What else do we got? Well, we're happy you're here too. We are happy you're here.
95.
Should I let the cat out of the bag?
Go ahead.
All right. So this is my daughter, everybody. So I'm really proud. I'm a proud dad. She's here watching me. So that's why she's blowing up the comments. That's why I show it, because it's my little girl. So
now I really have to watch my mouth.
I think she's probably heard a lot worse from me.
Yeah, but you're her dad.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And she knows not to say it because she'll get beat up in a nice way, like high fives.
No ice cream for you tonight.
No ice cream.
Where was I on my list?
I know we still have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So tool wise, I like to always keep some hand tools in my vehicle, like a socket set and things that I know is gonna work on my car. Multi-tool is always helpful. Pry bar, crowbar. You want to have some something to be able to tie things with. 550 cord is perfect for that. Bungee cords. You get those ratchet straps. Those work great too. Everything has its own purpose. I always like to keep one of those tarps in my truck too, because I typically just use the tarp anytime I'm working underneath my car and I just don't want to lay down on the floor. Mm-hmm. But a tarp can come in handy because you can make an emergency like tent out of it, or if need be, or tarp has so many different uses. A big lighter, something as simple as a big lighter, something to be able to start.
What would you use that for? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What else could you use that for?
The big lighter?
Yeah. I mean, you start fires and stuff like that.
Yeah, or melt the end of the paracord or whatever. Like, there's so many.
If you need that.
Yeah, if you need it. But I mean, it comes in handy. Like, I don't smoke anymore. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but like, I still keep a lighter in my bag just in case, like.
This was an interesting comment from Liberty. I mean, I'm sure you can MacGyver something. It makes sense, and it's power.
Yeah, if you have the right gauge cords to be able to do that with, and yeah, you could jump it with a Milwaukee battery. I've seen it done.
I use the taser to ignite my tater gun, if that matters. Jeez. All right. I think we have a question. Let me pull that. Non-tactical person for the show. Celebrity. I'm guessing you're asking who we would want to have, Savinity. Is that what you're saying? Hey, it's good to see you, man, against the masses. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate that. Let me pop that.
Hey, thanks for joining. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Give us a clue what you're talking. Oh, yeah, that's what he's saying. So, who would you want on the show? That's a celebrity. That's non-tactical.
That's a good question.
I mean, that is hard. It really is.
I enjoy.
I could say Mark Wahlberg. You know.
I was thinking Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, yeah. I mean, Joe Rogan would be a good one. Gordon Ramsay, sport brand. Ramsay. I wouldn't be against it at this point because that would probably make for something hilarious. Could you imagine we like pop him on and we're like, all right, let's go over this, and then we just show him different guns or different gear or something like that, and just let him just go off on stuff. That would be nuts.
Yeah. Here's a good question for you, Sarge, from your favorite libertarian. I'm gonna say I don't actually keep a truck gun. My CC, like my EDC on body, is really my truck gun. I just don't feel safe leaving a firearm inside the truck because a lot of the,
he's saying period. Like if you're going to carry a truck gun.
I would say either a Ruger 1022 or AR-15, maybe. Just you want to have like something. At least with a 1022, 22 is cheap. It has a lot of uses, but if you really want that oomph in case of an emergency really happens, AR-15.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but I think a PCC is pretty good nowadays. If you get the right one. Like I really like my MPX. I'm a fan of it. I'm still waiting on my Flux Raider to get back, but I have a couple more. So I would totally rock those. But I think if you're going to run one, you want one that's compact, that you can get to, deploy it fast, all that stuff. So honestly, I think the MPX for me is like the winner. And then I'll carry a pistol on the side. Like if I wanted to match it, like say I'm carrying a Glock and I wanted to match it, I'd 100% go with a PCC that feeds Glock mags, so that way I can run the pistol, and there's no issues with cross load and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, a good PCC, the whole point to me of a truck gun is to help me get away from whatever situation I'm in, right? The pistol on your person is to help get you back to your big gun, right? So if you're going to carry a rifle, which, I mean, for me, how I look at it is, I'll just put it this way, being law enforcement. If I go to a call and then all of a sudden I'm taking rounds, I'm going to fight back to my truck to get my AR, right? I'm going to get my AR. I'm going to deploy my AR. And at that point, I'm going to do what I do best, which is take control of the situation. So I think that's how, if everybody looks at a truck gun in that aspect, like the whole purpose of you carrying a pistol is for that immediate what's right in front of you, right? That you can deal with. And if not, and you have to fight back to a vehicle to get something bigger, then 100%. definitely an AR at that point. But you can still get the job done with a PCC.
Yeah.
It's all it is remembering things like if they're wearing body armor,
Shoot him in the
pelvic
dick.
girdle is the greatest place you can shoot somebody, because this right here is fantastic if you get around in there, but you may not. And when you're talking about the pelvic girdle, that's a bigger target. So
I remember Clint Smith once talked about that topic when some student asked him if what if the bad guy is wearing body armor, and that's what he said. Just right down there, you may not, you're gonna stop the threat regardless, because once you hit somebody down there, they're gonna definitely stop what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Croak.
Yeah.
I mean, I will be honest with you. I don't keep stuff in a vehicle. In my squad car, it's locked up. So unless they can get the vehicle on and know the combination of buttons they have to push to release that weapon, then I think I'm good to go on that. So I don't really fear them breaking into my vehicle and taking my shotgun or my rifle out. So,
and that's the main reason why I don't carry per se a truck gun, is because I haven't found a nice lockable, secure, where they're not going to be able to rip it out real quick. Like if I found like a lockbox that I could fit a rifle in, I wouldn't mind it. But for right now, that since I don't have it, I don't want to be negligent and leave a firearm inside the vehicle where
I understand that.
And take it.
And that's why I'm a big I'm big about carrying off body.
Yeah.
I'm okay with carrying like the MPX, man. That thing goes small, so I can throw it in a bag, and it just looks like I'm carrying around a backpack.
Yep. So
and
since we're on the topic of truck guns, I mean, I did have a small section at the end of my list, but I'll just skip to it. For the free states, definitely a truck gun, spare mag, spare ammo, secure lockbox, quality backpack, just in case, you got to put your gear into the backpack. But that's what I did have on the list for like states that will allow you to, drive around.
Yep.
Where was I? Back to the main topic was, okay. I always keep a flashlight or two in the vehicle. And since I have a flashlight, I definitely want to keep spare batteries. You could also, one of those 12-volt cigarette lighter power inverters, they can come in handy too if you want to go that route. I know newer vehicles, some of them already have that built into them.
Yeah.
I always keep an extra quart of oil in my vehicle. I have an older vehicle. I try to keep that thing as clean as possible, but it does leak sometimes. So if you do have an older vehicle, you may have, a slow oil leak. Keep an eye on that's another thing. You keep an eye on your fluid levels, like transmission fluid, oil. Make sure they're in a safe spot, because like you saw, a lot of people have already gone through blown engines in the chat.
Yeah.
There was something else. Oh, check your wiper blades. That's one thing I can't stand, is dirty windshield. It's a huge pet peeve of mine. A lot of times, wiper blades, like over time, if they don't get changed out, they're going to dry rot and they're not going to work as good. So your vision is important.
Well, let me show you what Croak sent me. So he sent that. That's his setup, and that's a great setup for a truck. It's perfect.
I love that.
He can load stuff up and do what he has to do. And I mean, I'm sure he's got a way that his tailgate secures and all that stuff. So yeah, man, for a truck, it's perfect. Like so I have a truck on duty right now, and I'd love to throw a top on it and have some bins and all that stuff. But I got a little sit down today saying, hey, these vehicles are on loan from the county. They don't belong to your agency, so you can't do anything to them. And if you do something to them, then we're going to take it away. And I was like, that's all you can do, right? Like, come on.
Like, okay. But yeah, that's a nice setup.
Yeah, that's a great setup. I'd love to have something like that. I mean, even when I was running a Tahoe, I had in the back a lock box that a foot locker basically full of gear and stuff like that. So, I would have loved to have drawers and stuff to organize stuff, but they don't really let us do stuff. And that's how they try to control us and control the money and all that stuff. It's stupid. It's like, why not give us what we can use to, either potentially save ourselves or others or anything like that. I mean, to me, it makes sense, but I don't know.
I get it. I mean, government just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I love that setup that Croak has because
that was a great setup.
You know what else I've seen is I seen him on Instagram where I think it was a Ram pickup and the tail light pops out and you can store a rifle in there. That's a pretty neat idea.
Yeah.
Like nobody would ever think of that there would be a rifle in there.
I agree. No, I mean, so even the Dodge Rams, when they had the little side that was over the bed, where you could pop it open, some of the patrol vehicles were like that. I mean, it's something. It's a place to store stuff. Because, like, even right now, I have nowhere to really stick anything. I just got to kind of make it fit. So until I get an exploder, that's what I call it. It's not an explorer; it's an exploder.
I would say they named it Explorer because you got to have an expedition. The explorer in the expedition, you got to explore and figure out what is wrong with it. But
see. There's a vehicle customized on Motor Trend. Yep. Go figure. Oh, Jason and his Wagyu. Try and make me hungry over here.
Yeah. Is he do you have it in the smoker, Jason?
Oh yeah, he's cooking it. You know his Instagram, he changed it it's to like something meat.
Okay, I remember he was posting a lot of like barbecue and slow cook stuff. Like, man, looking at his page, you get hungry.
I mean, he likes to drink and eat his meat, so whatever floats his boat, I guess.
Phrasing.
Jeez.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, that's funny. They had the meats, right, Croak? Oh, jeez. Okay, so what else we got? I don't want to keep everybody on here too long. I know I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Let's see.
I just want to make sure we cover everything. Everybody has a good time. Everybody makes fun of Sarge because that's how we do it.
I also have.
There you go. It's Meet Your Heart Out.
There you go.
That's his new Instagram. Meet your heart out.
Okay.
because he likes meat. Just saying.
Hey.
Sorry, I had to mess with him.
Why not? I mean, that's what friends do.
Yep. Yeah, he called me today and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm still at work. He's like, "Okay," and I'm like, "I'll call you back. Just let me finish what I'm doing."
Man, yeah, it seems like when I'm not busy, nobody calls or texts, right? As soon as I
Yes.
get behind the wheel and start driving, constant messages, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Or you
I'm
got
like,
me calling you, right? And you're like, "I'm driving."
well, I don't mind that because I have the Bluetooth in when I'm driving,
Yeah.
but as long as I don't have like a coworker sitting next to me, or as long as I'm not busy, hands on doing something, I don't mind chatting when I'm driving.
Yeah.
But something to consider is a rain poncho to keep in your vehicle, or contractor bag, a heavy mill bag. You can
Yeah.
use that as an emergency poncho. I like to have some emergency cash. Nothing major, but emergency cash goes a long way sometimes.
Yeah.
You can have a couple, maybe a couple 20s or small bills like ones,
Yeah.
fives, tens, 20s. Nothing big, but cash is still king in a lot of places. Like it comes in handy.
Right.
I like to have a water filtration system. I think I have what was it? It was Sawyer. I have a Sawyer filter in my car that I keep in a storage container. Uh, long-term storage snacks, non-perishable, like long.
Yeah.
Again, the weather can, determine how long it's really going to last, but you try to keep it out of the elements as much as you can. Bottled water, optional, a fuel can, jerry can, some type of extra fuel storage, depending on where you're going to go. If you got a trip coming up, then maybe you might want to have one if you could strap it to the outside of your vehicle or something,
Yeah.
or in your trunk.
All right,
It's just that
let me
extra
catch him
security.
before he bounces. 223 DMR, thank you. Appreciate you. Finish that workout. I hope you feel pretty jacked up after. But thank you. Thanks for coming. And yeah, most definitely.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Jason,
What
see
else?
you later. Go play with your meat, since that's more important than hanging out with us.
So I did mention water filtration.
Yeah.
Another thing that I do keep in my vehicle is something that's called the four-way seal lock key. And that's how it looks, guys. You could buy this at a hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot. And this is handy for urban environments where you can find water, but they're locked up like this. And you need that key to open that up. Sometimes you could just use needle nose pliers, but if you have the key, it makes it a lot easier. But in the urban environments, you can find water on these buildings. You just need this certain key for it. Let's see. Definitely a boo-boo kit and a trauma kit. There is a
Yeah,
difference
I agree.
between the two.
Yep.
A lot of times you're just going to be using the boo-boo kit instead of a trauma kit. And I think we talked about this last episode, but spare change of clothes and footwear can go a long way.
Yeah. That's just a morale boost, right?
Spare clothes, like
Yeah.
I mean, if you got
Especially
dirty clothes on,
if you got stuck somewhere and you're living right now, you know.
Yeah.
Just put on a clean pair of socks maybe or whatever. Is a
Clean
morale
pair of
booster.
socks. Yes, it
I
can
can
go a
tell
long way.
you, having been deployed, yeah, there's little things like that are morale booster.
Yeah. I mean, even in this weather where you're sweating constantly, like you go outside, you're already sweating like crazy. Like midday, if you change your clothes, or at the end of the day, like before you even get home, if you have other plans, like it's always nice to have something to throw on. And I keep a spare change of clothes in my work bag, to be honest with you, because there's days where I get really dirty, and
Yeah,
I don't want to be stuck with wet, muddy clothes. So if it's
yeah,
very bad, then I will change my clothes.
yeah. I mean, for me, if I get jacked up nowadays, I just, hey, I'm going home. I gotta take a shower. Like we have a shower at the office, but I don't. Yeah, during the day, nah. Run the risk of the commissioner walking in, or you never know, or the
Yeah,
constable decides he wanted to go up there and sees you like, what are you doing? Like, I don't want to. I'm just gonna go home. You know.
yeah. Croak has a great point. Uh, I used to have a job where I was in suit and tie all day. It wasn't. Yeah, I looked good in it, but I didn't feel comfortable in it. So
Yeah.
if you have a job where you gotta get dressed up, some comfortable clothes in case you gotta
Mhm.
change
Oh
and
yeah.
walk somewhere else or hike somewhere.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Like these are all like great ideas, and you have people like me who are just like, I don't care.
hmm,
I was throwing a pair of shorts. Like I don't. I really don't care. You know.
yeah. Like, it really
Whatever.
it depends on the time of year, and I know Caleb asked this. What changes do you make to your kit when the weather changes? For the most part, my kit stays the same, depending. But I may add a certain thing here and there, take out certain things here and there. Like during the warmer weathers, I'll keep shorts and stuff like that in the car. Like,
Mhm.
but if it's cold outside, I'll definitely have a heavy jacket. Like
Yeah. I mean,
during wintertime, I think I have like maybe two, three jackets in my vehicle at all times.
yeah, yeah, I agree, man. Like it just makes sense.
Yeah,
If it's wintertime, layers. If it's summertime, you still, if you're stuck somewhere, you still need to protect yourself.
yeah,
You may not want to wear pants, but if you have to walk out into the woods or whatever the case is, because you got stuck somewhere where you're in a very nasty area, well, you're gonna want pants on, not shorts.
yeah. Bug spray. I mean, it comes in handy too during summertime. Like
Yeah.
try to keep the mosquitoes and the ticks away. But I think I mainly just change out like the type of clothes, spare clothes that I keep in the vehicle. Um, I know wintertime is it gets dark, it stays dark a lot longer. So definitely extra batteries, maybe a brighter flashlight. Uh, but really, I feel like I've I got the loadout where I could use it all year round. Even though I have all four seasons, it's just minor things that I change up. I can't really think of any major thing that I change up, but other than the type of stuff I wear,
Yeah.
keep an extra pair of boots and heavier socks, like heavy layer socks. I keep hand warmers and feet warmers in the vehicle during wintertime because cold feet suck, especially when I have steel-toe boots on. Cold feet are even worse.
Yeah. That's why I wear Gore-Tex and I'll layer, have a like what I call a dress sock is my layer that's on my skin, and then over top of it, a thicker sock, things like that.
Yeah, definitely layer up during wintertime because it's funny because we have
socks. Yep, not cotton.
We have fall and winter. Sometimes our fall weather is colder than our winter weather. Where I'm at, let's see if I'm the same way. Hoosier and jackets. Yep. State. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Keep yourself a good knife in the car too, like in a bag at least. Like,
so, are you carrying fixed or are you carrying folding?
I have both.
Okay.
I have a fixed blade and a folding blade.
Okay.
Just for different scenarios. But it stays in a bag. It's funny because I have different bags in my car, and I'm getting to the point where I feel like I'm hoarding bags in my vehicle.
You probably are. You probably have like 30 bags. You look like a raccoon just like throwing stuff in a little spot. You're like, mine. All of it.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what I had to do a couple of weeks ago is actually I took a couple of the bags out. I went through all of them, and I was like, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. And I tried to just put it into one bag.
Yeah. See you later, man. Thanks for stopping in, dude. Appreciate you.
I appreciate
Gerber or
you.
K-Bar? I know the last question you said about Bear Grylls and the other guy. I don't know who the other guy is, so sorry, Savinity.
K-Bar?
I don't watch too much TV, should I say?
Wait, what did I miss? What did he say?
Yeah, Gerber or K-Bar. That's the only question right now.
I don't have either one, but I was looking at the Gerbers. I was actually looking at a Gerber to keep on my plate carrier.
Yeah.
Although K-Bars are classics, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, so K-Bars are really good. The Gerber knives are pretty good. I'm just used to carrying rats. That's what yeah, exactly. Ontario. Yeah. So the rat is what I carry, what I've carried through deployments, what I've carried for years, what I've carried on my SWAT belt, on my patrol belt, on everything, Yeah. So Gerbers, they had their purpose a little while ago. K-Bars, they're still kicking. They'll still do the job, but do you need that kind of knife? Probably not. So, I mean, it's kind of up to you, really.
You can always get the Crocodile Dundee knife.
Oh, yeah. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
There you go. But these were some ideas that I came up with certain things that I keep in my vehicle. But again, you can mix and match what you can use what you want from this list. But depending on where you live as well, if you live out in the country and you're surrounded by trees on different roads, you may want to keep a chainsaw in your vehicle too. I mean,
yeah,
I've got friends that live out in the country that always keep a chainsaw, and again, like tow ropes and stuff like that. Where
Yeah, but I mean, you're getting into like geographical and stuff like
right,
that. Let's just talk just
basics.
common
This is like
sense,
these are like the
basic, what
basics.
you should have. I mean, that's what we need to think about as
Yeah,
individuals. What's going to benefit us
in the
traveling
long run.
cities or whatever? You know, if
Yeah,
you live out in the country, you're going to have different stuff. It just makes sense. It's just like, you know, I carry different things in Iraq than I would Afghanistan, or
right.
different things on the border versus here versus, you know
Job
what I'm saying?
specifics. Yeah,
So, well, not even job, it's just region. You know,
regional. That's what I'm.
if
Yeah,
you're out in the
regional.
country and you get a lot of tornadoes and stuff, and you're always having to clear trees out of the roadway or whatever, then yeah,
Mm,
having a chainsaw is great. It's a
yeah.
smart idea, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
But depending
Yeah,
on
I
your
think you got it.
region,
You just,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
that's a whole nother story. Like depending on what region you're in, like, but I feel like I try to. I know it was a lot of things, but I try to keep it to the point where everybody can see some use out of it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. I agree.
Dream
So what's your
vehicle.
dream vehicle?
A tank.
Which one?
I don't know, just the best one.
The bet? What? What?
I don't care. Like, look, if you have a tank, you have a tank. Like,
Yeah,
people
but
aren't
how
not
many
gonna
people
mess.
does it take to operate said tank?
Okay,
How
well,
many
there you
crew
go.
members? We'll just say
All right.
the M1, which is the Abrams. How many people you think run that?
I have no idea. I don't even know how to operate a tank, but yeah,
There's four people.
how cool is it to have a tank?
I mean, yes, but you still got to have a driver, right? You got to have somebody drive it. You got to have somebody gunning, and you got to have a loader at minimum. You don't really need the TC. So at least three people,
yeah.
you
All
know,
right. So,
because you want to enjoy the tank. You just don't want to be like, oh, well, okay, I drove it for a little bit and now I got to crawl through this little hole and get up to the top, and I've got to load the gun, and then I got to turn around and jump in the gunner seat or the TC seat, do the TC override. You know,
all right.
you
Let's
got to have a
see.
crew, man.
That's what you guys are here for. You're my
I know.
crew. If
So
I ever need to know how to jumpstart a Humvee in the SHTF scenario, who do you think I'm gonna call?
you can jumpstart a Humvee. It's easy.
What
The
about
battery
those?
the battery is under the passenger seat. That's it.
There you go. There you
Under
go.
the TC seat. There you go. Boom. Done. We're out of here.
See? There you
We
go.
don't even
You
need
got some
keys. It'll be great.
I knew you could do something like that. There you go.
I mean, we got it. We can. I'm sure we could assemble a heck of a crew to run Humvees and all kinds of stuff, tanks, whatever. We'll figure it out.
If I could have any vehicle, it would definitely be some type of SUV or a truck. Something that I feel like those old military trucks, they can use. There's one, I forgot the specific engine it is, but it can run on diesel, gas, oil, kerosene, or something like. It was a multi-fuel engine. I
For
forgot what it's called.
for what was it?
It was like an old military truck, like
Oh, well,
old.
the Humvee can run on JP8, gas, and all that stuff. So,
There you go.
yeah. I mean, you could
So-
throw almost anything in it, and
Yeah.
it'll run.
If it was up to me, anything utilitarian. That's why I've always
Yeah.
liked SUVs and pickup trucks, because there's so much you could do with those that you can't do in a regular compact sedan or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can do some off-roading, hit some grades if you need to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuel is more expensive to run those vehicles, but hey, I don't
Look at
mind
that.
paying the extra money.
Look at
Station
that.
wagon.
Sport brand. Called it.
Yep.
Definitely underrated because you could do a lot of hauling in that.
Yeah, you can.
Plus, still have room for the family.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. For me, I mean, I don't know. I want a big SUV. That's it. That's all I like.
Yeah. Or
So, I mean,
yeah, something.
maybe a decked out Tahoe. I don't know. I mean,
I've always loved Suburbans. Uh,
yeah, I mean that is
uh,
kind of big though. I hate driving this truck because let me tell you about parking and some of these places that I have to go to, some of these apartment complexes. It's terrible. So I'm always parking in the fire lane.
I get it.
It's
I
like
mean,
I can't pull in these spots. So
when I'm not driving a CDL truck, I'm driving a crew truck, and with the big old box in the back. So I know the feeling. Like it sucks trying to maneuver small, like tight areas and those things. Um, shoot. Okay, I was gonna remind you guys about the Firearms Mastery Challenge. When I
yeah,
did announce it earlier, some of you guys weren't there. My friend Razil Cohen, aka the Tactical Rabbi, he is a founder of NDF Training. He is going to run a 14-day challenge for you guys. For anybody that wants to sign up, again, he's gonna have step-by-step process, learn different firearms and how to use them. Apply for your if you know anybody that's thinking about purchasing their first firearm, but doesn't know, what to get, or if the state needs licensing and stuff like that, he's going to go over that. Uh, he's going to go over training tactics, become the best protector, mindset. And I think for $27 for 14 days, like live with him on the computer, like you can ask him questions, and it's not just Tim. He has medical guys too.
yeah, he's got a
There you
bunch of
go.
certs, and I mean it's good for him,
Yeah,
and good
he's
to see him out there just doing it. So
yeah.
definitely,
Certified instructor, NRA, DOJ, and approved Homeland Security experience and security measures. I got the link down in the comments and the bio. If you guys are interested, click it, read what he has to offer. And like I said, for $27, I think it's a good deal. And he has a money back guarantee where if you think that anything that he had to teach you didn't need it, it wasn't worth it, 30-day money back guarantee. And you still gain that knowledge. I mean, that's how confident he is in this program that he has put together. He took a long time putting this together, and he is very confident in it. And I feel like anybody that can confidently offer a money back guarantee, it's worth checking out. Because
well, I mean, besides that, like I said, he's got some credentials. He's just not
yeah,
some dude that's out here
yeah,
on the streets.
he's a cool dude. Like I've gotten to know him through Instagram for quite some time, and I've actually wanted to have him here on the show with us.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's tough with
you
Friday
can
nights.
invite whoever you want. It's fine. It's your
Uh,
show.
yeah, I know, but I know with Fridays, if I do ask him, I think we might have to do a pre-recorded live because
Yeah,
Fridays won't work out for him because of his religion.
yeah.
But we might still do that. I wouldn't mind having him on a guest. He's a really cool dude, down to earth,
Right.
knows what he's talking about. He also has a YouTube channel. It's either NDF training or
NDFT.
NDF training. So check out his channel. He has great information. A lot of product reviews too. So that being said, guys, before we head out, Sarge, do you have anything that you'd like to?
I mean, I'll say this. We don't know how much longer we're going to last on YouTube. I don't know. This is something that me and Panda are going to talk about and see if we move to a different platform, because all the work that we're doing on YouTube is just getting hammered, right? The growth's not there or anything like that. And the fact that we're not as free to show or talk or educate or teach or anything, it just, we're limited because we're not a top tier Grand Thumb or anybody else. We're not up there. We're just small channels. And if we want to start teaching people stuff or showing more stuff, it gets hard. I'll say that. So we may be switching sooner than later, but we still want to have the show, but it's going to be better. We're more free to say what we want to do. If we want to show a firearm, or I want to show you how something works, a new piece of gear or something like that, then I can show you with a firearm and not have to worry about us getting our
flagged or
live taken down, like shut down and all that stuff. So we're looking at a different platform with Freedom Crew University and seeing what that's going to look like. But for now, we're going to be here until we figure that piece out and how we want to run it and everything like that. So,
and like you said, we'll let you guys know when that time comes.
Yeah.
But we have been talking about it here and there, and even with Instagram, things are getting crazy. Like I got flagged just like everybody else now, or they're going after firearms pages.
Yep. So on that, I thank you guys, the ones that stayed all the way to the end. I think we have like 5 people watching still. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to the shows. Thank you for your comments and making everything crazy and fun. So we appreciate you. Truly.
Yeah. Thank you for listening and taking the time to listen to what I have to share. So enjoy your weekend, guys.
Yeah, have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. See you later.
See you.